This video is for my fellow salespeople and realtors. Let me help you how to get comfortable and how to learn mirroring and matching, how to use mirroring and matching when connecting with others. This is about better communication with your clients, talking in a language that they can understand. Okay, let's just talk about it. Up to 93% of who we are and what we respond to is non-verbal communication. Okay, we gravitate towards those that are like us and those that we actually aspire to be like. A useful tip to connecting with others is the matching and the mirroring. In the environments and the people we meet, you have to learn how to mirror and match in order to be able to communicate efficiently. Number one, it's all energy, right? So number one, it's all energy. Energy, okay? If their energy is high, increase yours to match them. If somebody is really hyper, talking really fast and excited, you might want to get a little bit excited. You don't want to talk to them like this. Oh, I see you're excited. That's not going to be good for building rapport, okay? If their energy is low, yours should mimic that energy, right? So it should be a little lower. If their energy is low and they're a person who's calm and a little more down, you don't come in going, hey, let me show you what we're going to do. You don't do that. So number one is energy. Number two, gestures and postures. You see me waving my hands like this? If you're talking to me, you might want to wave a hand. Be like, I don't like that. Talk with your hands if they do. That doesn't mean if they go like this, you go like this. But you might want to do a little swipe. You can mirror people's method of touch and match the strength of delicacy of their handshake, right? Sometimes somebody shakes hard and you shake soft. That's a imbalance, right? So you got to make sure you pay attention to that. Consider their body movements. If they're sitting still or if they're sitting down, you may just want to take a seat. If they're standing up, you may want to stand up. If they're sitting straight, you may want to sit straight. If they're slouched, you may want to slouch a little bit. If their hands are crossed, maybe you don't cross your hands. Maybe you could do something like this. Maybe you could do something like this. Just a little something to start building a connection, to building trust. Okay? Because if your intentions are pure, but you don't know how to build trust, it may look like your intentions are not pure because you're not communicating in that person's language. Okay? So just make sure your gestures and your postures are, in your facial expressions, you just want to make sure that it's subtle. Okay? You don't go crazy. It's just a little subtle hint of I understand and I'm with you and I'm here to do this with you. I'm here to communicate. I want to talk. I want to build rapport, right? So just make sure your gestures and your postures are very subtle. Number three, voice and speech patterns. If somebody's talking extremely fast, you may want to talk a little bit faster than you normally do if you don't talk fast at all. Likewise, if somebody is talking extremely slow, I sip my coffee. What you may want to do at this point is take a sip of your drink, right? That's mirroring and matching. Maybe not right now, not I sip, you sip. I take a sip at some point within the next 1 to 2 minutes, you should probably take a sip. Okay? So voice and speech patterns. Raise your voice with theirs. Consider the rate of speed of their speech. And mimic their breathing patterns and tempo and tone just to be of like mind, kindred spirits, right? So you'll be on the same page. Then once you eliminate that, then all you got to do now is just communicate and talk with them on the same level. Now, we naturally mirror and match those we feel connected to, but the reverse is also true. If I'm one way and you're a different way, I'll feel less connected to you if you're not mirroring and matching me. And we organically stimulate that meaningful connection in others by initiating the process we can initiate that process with ourselves, right? This turns every interaction into an experience that leaves people with lasting positive impressions of you, and it leaves people with a positive impressions of them. It leaves you with a positive impression of the people. Now, here's an extra tip. None of this works if you're not being honest. So my extra tip is be honest and be genuine. Okay? These techniques do not work for people you don't care for or situations you don't care for. So you shouldn't be in situations like that anyway. Once upon a time, there was a little old lady, and she wanted to sell her family home, right? So every realtor is calling her every day. Realtors are calling her, super aggressive, talking super fast, and she was a really, really sweet old lady. And because of that, she decided they were all too aggressive and she didn't want to do business with any one of them. Until one day, David calls her, okay? I run a successful real estate team. I'm also aggressive in my business. We're the number one team in our office. We have high accolades in our industry, but none of that matters. What mattered is when I called her, I slowed down. I said, listen, Mrs. Jones, I'm going to help you sell your home, okay? And this is how we're going to do it. We're going to do A, we're going to do B, we're going to do C. If you don't understand anything, I'm going to explain it to you. And because of that, we sold her home. Because of that, she ended up using us to buy another property. And because of that, guess what else she did? Sent her friends and family to us. Now, if I went in there like every other realtor, super aggressive, guess what? Guess what would not have happened? So just remember who you're talking to, and just remember the mirroring and matching. Be honest, be genuine, and it will help you build rapport with certain people so you can communicate their language, so you could get your honest point across and help them sell their home or buy a home, or maybe just have a general communication. You're out and about and you want to be a better communicator. These techniques work in every environment.